You had second thoughts about what you did say. I should have said it this way. Or why didn't I say that? I do this because I'm worried what people are going to think of me. I'm worried about saying the wrong thing because you're all up in your head thinking. You said it. Now let it go. Welcome to the She Speaks to Inspire podcast. I'm your host, Julia Kraft, your authentic expression mentor and public speaking coach. So let's dive in. If you've ever cringed after speaking to somebody or thought later, oh my gosh, I should have said it this way, or why didn't I say that? You held yourself back, you blanked out, you had second thoughts about what you did say. We've all been there. When it comes to communication confidence, relating to these past moments is just as important as preparing for the moments in the future. Welcome back to the She Speaks to Inspire podcast. I'm your host, Julia Kraft, the founder of Speak to Inspire Coaching. And as I help women to get rid of speaking anxiety and get better at their high stakes communications, I'm often guiding them through a process of working with their inner critic. You know, that part of your mind that always has something critical to say. Always. You've probably experienced some rumination after speaking moments where you're sitting by yourself in your office after a meeting, going over everything that was said or that you said or that you could have said and would have said. It might also be overthinking as you're preparing because you're afraid of the rumination that you often do that you remember from other times. This leads naturally to overanalyzing things, nitpicking each word, and therefore second-guessing yourself. When you're in this kind of thinking process, your initial instinct or impulse is completely lost because you're all up in your head thinking. In the moment of speaking, this might look like or sound like repeating yourself, like saying the same thing a slightly different way several different times because you're unsure if you're being understood, which might come across as being long-winded or circling around a topic and never really getting to the heart of it. And it all leads to more censorship, self-censorship, hesitation, and you could even call it masking, putting on a mask to please others, to look the way you think you should look, come across the way you think you should come across. I know I've done plenty of rehearsing in my mind ad nauseum, what I'm going to say, how I'm going to say it, going over it at every angle many times leading up to a moment. And then, of course, the moment happens. And then afterwards, there I am rehearsing it again, rehearsing how it went and how it could have gone and the options. Please say it's not just me. To sum it up, all of this, it's a closed fist way of relating to communication. Closed fist relating to the preparation process. I really want to have control. Closed fist relationship to the actual speaking moment. I really want to have control about how this goes and what people think of me. And closed fist approach to relating to what just happened, the past. Why do we do this? Why do we do this to ourselves? Why do we do this to our audiences? It's obvious that it doesn't feel good, right? It's not fun to go through. My guess would be that you do this, I do this, because I'm worried what people are going to think of me. I'm worried about saying the wrong thing. I'm worried that I've already said the wrong thing. I'm worried that I shouldn't have spoken at all. Second guessing myself. I'm afraid of the consequences of what I have said or what I will say, what people will think of me. I'm afraid I've upset someone or caused some waves, which all leads to this fear of being embarrassed, fear of being ashamed of something, and fear of regret. Perhaps that inner critic believes that if I chastise myself, if I criticize myself, then I'll prevent myself from making mistakes in the future. We really like to have control, us humans, It's like a primal thing. Control equals safety, supposedly. But let's ask the question, is that really true? Right? When it comes to human communication, do you ever really have control? Do you have control over what you're going to say? Let's go back. Do you have control over what other people say? Obviously not. Do you have control over how they feel about you, what they think about you? Obviously not. Do you have control over what you say? Mostly, somewhat. Sometimes it just comes out, right? And you can't say that you have full control. And do you have control over what you think and feel? Yeah, mostly. A lot of personal growth gurus will say you have control over what you think and feel, but it's pretty hard to control what you think and feel, right? It's pretty hard. It happens so fast. When it comes to relating to what you've said in the past, you said it, now let it go. That's the mindset I invite you to embrace. This is an open palm mindset versus a closed fist. So do this with me now, whether you're listening or you're watching me on YouTube. Close your fist really tight and then exhale, open your palms and just feel what that's like. Open palms, I would imagine, feels better, right? It just feels more spacious, easy, open, relaxed. An open palm mindset lets go of control, lets go of the reins, and you could say goes with the flow. I came to realize at a certain point that I said what I said. I can't change it now. It's gone. It's like a helium balloon that is floating up in the air and going away. I literally cannot get it back. So all I can do now is choose to turn my attention to something else. What about turning to your attention to something that you do have control over, that you can influence, that you can win at? Something pleasing, something calming, something that reassures you that you're a good person, that you do good things, which could be as simple as going and getting yourself a special latte that makes you feel good. Maybe that's just my thing. Taking a bath, going for a walk, talking to a friend, something that's lower stakes that you can win at. Redirect your attention to that and keep letting go of that past moment. Let the balloon float away. As you're ready, as maybe the intensity of embarrassment, regret, even shame starts to soften, right? That's a good time to purposely turn your mind to, what did I do well? What went well in that interaction? What do I like about how I showed up? And look for the positive on purpose, even saying it out loud or writing it down or telling it to somebody so that it's really concrete. Force yourself to focus on the good. And then, and only then, after you've let go of the intensity and you've focused on the positive, then turn your attention to clarify one thing, just one thing that you want to try differently next time. If that situation were to come up again, or if I was in a similar situation, what would I want to try differently? How would I like to prepare differently? How would I think about it differently? What's a phrase that I might use? This is the most important part of the process because it moves your focus from the past, which is where you started ruminating on the past, wanting to control the past, moves your focus to the future that actually you do have control over. You can build the future differently from this moment forward. And that gives us hope. That gives us a feeling of empowerment. That gives us a feeling of confidence from the inside out, no matter what happens. So you said it. You said whatever you said. Trusted it was the right thing to say and let it go. Turn your attention towards the future. It's not going to be perfect in the future either, by the way. You're going to have to keep letting it go each time. That's the practice. It's sort of Zen, but it really works to help build your confidence and just move forward in this life in a way that's sustainable. So I hope it's been helpful to reflect on some of the inner mindset work around speaking. And I hope this brings you some peace, right? Some peace and some confidence around your speaking. The world really does need your voice and your perspective. So let it go and go out and speak to inspire. Thanks for listening. This has been She Speaks to Inspire with Julia Kraft, your authentic expression mentor and public speaking coach. I'm so glad you joined me. And I hope you got so much out of this episode. If you want to learn more about Speak to Inspire training programs and get inspired, head over to speaktoinspire.com or follow us on Instagram at She Speaks to Inspire. Never forget, the world needs your voice, and it's time for you to speak to inspire. See you in the next episode.